Hi, everybody, and good morning. Today is Thursday, November 10th. I'm Dave Chudowsky with your 3 News Now morning update. Thank you for spending a few minutes with me on the WKYC YouTube page. We're going to start with Holly for a check of today's forecast. Hi there, Holly.
Hey, Dave, and good morning to you. And I'll tell you what, as we look ahead on your National Design Mart forecast, we transition from all this beautiful sunshine and highs around 70 today to rainy tomorrow. Watch as cloud cover increases heading into tonight. And then as we get into your Friday, it won't be the early morning drive, but I'll tell you what, by the time we get to mid to late morning, this is 8 a.m. tomorrow, you can see the rain, and then it's really starting to impact us by late morning. This is the view at noon tomorrow. There's the view by 10 o'clock tomorrow evening as the rain is moving out. But you know what's going to be moving in is a whole lot of cold as we get into your Saturday and weekend. And we've been talking about these changes, but you will definitely feel the impact. I'll just say that much. Saturday's highs in the 40s, huge difference from what we've had here lately. Remember, normal highs this time of the year in the 50s. And we'll see temperatures only in the 30s heading into Sunday. Scattered snow in the forecast. Dave, we're going to keep it chilly into next week as we're talking about a week from Thanksgiving at that point. Highs will be around 40 with flurries in the air even Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah, Thanksgiving closing in. All right, Holly, thank you. And we continue weather coverage, and we begin with news out of Florida, where Hurricane Nicole has made landfall on Florida's east coast, just south of Vero Beach. Now a tropical storm, Nicole is expected to bring heavy amounts of rain across the region. Florida is also expecting a storm surge that could further erode many beaches that were hit by Hurricane Ian in September. Nicole is the third hurricane in the Atlantic this month, tying the 2001 season for the most Atlantic hurricanes in November. Storm is expected to head into Georgia and the Carolinas later today and tomorrow. Turning now to politics, JD Vance is heading to the Senate after defeating Tim Ryan in the race for Ohio's open Senate seat, taking over the seat of retiring Senator Rob Portman. Political analysts say Vance could go the more moderate route or continue with the more right-wing rhetoric. Vance didn't mention former President Donald Trump in his victory speech, despite receiving his endorsement during his campaign.
Is it the J.D. Vance who criticized Donald Trump? Is it the J.D. Vance who was gracious and conciliatory in his victory speech last night? Or is it the J.D. Vance who abruptly changed patterns and embraced Donald Trump, criticized the Ukraine, and was not always gracious in his campaign?
In his speech, Vance said he will fight for Ohioans in the Senate regardless if they voted for him or not. His victory could be the key in the GOP gaining control of the Senate. And despite sweeping victories for the GOP in Ohio, the Ohio leader of the party will step down early next year. Bob Paduchik says it's time for a new leader to step in. He's a top ally and advisor to former President Donald Trump, but has faced criticism with his party for endorsing Governor Mike DeWine in the primary and for his handling of the party's books. Paduchik was almost ousted in September, but managed to delay a vote to January. He says he's looking forward to the election of new officers. And in Akron, the attorney for Jayland Walker's family is responding after residents voted for a police oversight board on Election Day. City will now move forward with creating a board of 3 independent auditors to review policing practices within Akron. Change is something the Walker family welcomes.
It gave the family a tremendous sigh of relief. It gave them a tremendous amount of joy and, frankly, faith in their community, that they were heard and that the community has stood up against police misconduct in the way they did.
Issue 10 states that Akron City Council must create the board by June 2023. And in a statement by Akron Mayor Dan Horrigan, he says that nearly 60 people have already applied. Developing overnight, police have given the all clear after threats were made to Cleveland Clinic's main campus and Fairview Hospital locations. According to a statement from the clinic, the threat made against Fairview Hospital came in around 7 last night, prompting the hospital to be placed on a visitor lockdown. Cleveland police gave Fairview the all clear around 10, and shortly after, main campus was also cleared. It is not known at this time what threats were made. We will keep you updated on air and online as more details become available. City of Elyria has agreed to spend more than $250 million on projects that will help stop untreated sewage discharge into the Black River. A complaint from the Justice Department states that Elyria's sewers overflowed on more than 1,100 occasions since 2011, and that the city failed to comply with the previous court order to stop these illegal discharges. Elyria will also pay a civil penalty of $100,000 to the U.S. government. Check this out. Cedar Point is getting a new ride along Lake Erie shoreline. Construction on the new coaster Wild Mouse has begun. Cedar Point also released renderings of the ride, which is set to debut when the park opens next year on May 6th. Wild Mouse is just one element of Cedar Point's reimagined boardwalk, which also includes a new grand pavilion. And the Akron Zoo has announced the return of wild lights, and with the forecast Hollie's been talking about, you might be ready to get into the holiday spirit. Wild Lights returns to the Akron Zoo on November 25th. The display will feature more than 1 million lights, holiday displays, and synchronized light shows. For the first few weeks, the show only runs on the weekends, but then starting December 16th, you can see it almost every day through the end of the month. We have more information, including how to get tickets, over at WKYC.com. Well, I want to thank you for taking the time to join me for this 3 News Now morning update. Our digital team will continue to bring the stories making headlines around Northeast Ohio and the world. Make sure to continue to check our social media pages and WKYC.com throughout the day. For Hollie Strano, I'm Dave Chudowsky, and we will see you again tomorrow morning on Go, starting at 4:30. Have a great day.